Good morning for those of you that it is morning. I'm adding hats to the chat in case someone wants to customize their slime. Maybe I should... There we go, I'll pin this. Pin message. Okay. I think I've got some... I changed a couple of settings on... I changed some settings on the mic. I think it sounds better today. Let me know if the audio is weird. Weird audio. My biggest enemy recently. Just everything. Just everything. Today should go better. I actually started the stream on time. I'm here. I'm ready to play game. Play ball. What? So, I did a couple sketches. I think it's worth trying to smooth this out. Take a look at it. So obviously, or maybe I should say, I hope it's obvious. Sailor Moon-esque transformation? Question mark? That's right. Okay, so let's turn on the opacity here. Let's take kind of a closer look at this. We got a lot going on. I wanted to kind of smooth out some of these action lines. Maybe I need like, let me go to the beginning and draw like some general animation paths to kind of try to line things up. I usually just kind of freehand it. Maybe I need to not do that. So my thought is kind of twirl like this. And then land back in the center. Let's put the feet pose like there. Is this what animators usually do? I usually skip this step. Let's put this on the front. So that this can sit in the foreground. Let's also make that transparent because otherwise it's going to be ridiculous. Okay. It's still too visible. It's driving me nuts. Let's make it like really low. Okay. And like squish it out because I think it's too constricting right now. Okay, so much for the feet markings. Oh, it's like 2%. Okay. Let's do like, yeah, okay. Alright. So, head comes up in the frame, kind of does a smile, maybe a couple, I have to plan out a couple talking frames here, I think. Sailor Moon, power, makeup, you know what I mean? And then a little quick, what's it called when you turn the other direction, you want to move first, and then you zoom back the other way. So this frame is a little weird, right? I think this frame is good. I'm gonna keep it. We'll have to scoot out this one. This is gonna be a lot of cleanup. This is gonna be a lot of actually like finishing up these frames, but this is the preliminary sketch, which I usually skip this step, but I feel like this is... Wait. No, this is too much. Okay, maybe we take this frame. Make it kind of like that. Yeah, that feels better. I like this frame. This frame is great. Yeah, hair's going nuts. Oh wait, hang on, and then we go up. Wow, we go up really fast. Let me think about this. Yeah, so there's some weirdness here. Going from this to this is tough. Maybe it just needs to be smaller. I like this frame. It should kind of float up. Leg out! That's great. That's great. We can kind of, oops, I just deleted that. I didn't mean to do that. Up, float, kick. We need this to last longer for one. That's easy to do. That's easy. Kick. Yeah. Okay, kick. And then let's see, it goes, we want this to float up just like a little bit. A little bit more. Wonderful. And then spin, right? From there, spin. How something like this. Maybe another frame. This frame's way weird. And then come back to standing. This is what's worrying me. I'm like, I don't know about all this. I think I know the leg is too long, but I think it's fine. I'll fix it later. That's kind of my... I'm making myself laugh. That's usually a good sign. Up, kick, spin. And then let's fix this frame. Take this frame, flip it. It can be like a little bit distorted just to be a little bit shorter, something like that. Sure, and then maybe the legs start to fold here. Except this one, like, the leg is, like, across the body. I know this is, like, impossible to read, like, what is going on. I barely know what's going on. So, we got, like, the transition from here to here is what we're trying to do. This implies almost like a side view, but I don't know if we need to do that. Leg touchdown. I don't think we need this. Let's delete this frame. Wasn't that crazy anyways. Okay, from here. Maybe we need more room. This is off-centered anyways. Perfect. Sure, sure. Side view, I think we can move this, shrink it down. Those are the toes. Head. Okay. Maybe like the hair is like going crazy. Here's like in front of the face. Still hands up. Those are hands. Hands. Okay, let's see how that looks. Y'all ready? Sailor Moon power, make up. I kind of love it. That is definitely better than what we started with. It's definitely very messy, lots of ugly red lines that aren't supposed to be there, but... Spin... Could we go like smear lines for this where I was like putting hands up? Could use smear lines for lots of these, I think. Lots of these moments. This is like kind of like a camera zoom out, I think. I think that reads. The kick is wonderful. The kick is great. the spin, we'll see how that goes. This is very odd still. This is gonna be tough. Coming back to center. I may have went a little crazy for this. Let's see, you could do leg up like a stomp or something instead. I just really like this pose. I like the end pose a lot. I also like the flash of color on the impact. Thank you, Instagram. I think it's okay. It's just one of those awkward between frames, you know? I'll smear it if I need to. Smear frames all around. Not afraid. Not afraid to use a smear. Okay. In a previous stream, I drew Aaron and Dan as cute magical girls. Let's copy and paste this. There's a couple of things I want to do. One, we need Aaron's magical girl phase, and we need Aaron's like pre-magical girl phase, right? Because it's going to transform into a magical girl. Let me see here. Do I have a good groove? Also, I think it would be funny to do a quick, idea. There's so many things I want to do. Let's grab Aaron. So we could do I'm gonna probably be working on this magical girl transformation for a while. But I also want to do a Dan magical girl transformation. But I have kind of an idea for how that one's gonna work. Okay, so here's Aaron. I wish I could just like put him as a reference. Can I? Okay, yeah. I don't think this design is finished either. I'll probably change a couple of things about it. I decided I wanted to move on. I was spending too much time worrying about Aaron's magical girl form, and I'm ready to get to the fun part, you know what I mean? Okay, I do like the idea of... Okay, so some things I'm gonna have to decide. I like making Aaron monochrome. Oops, I went to the edge. I'm on the edge of the artboard. Da-na-na-na-na. Fix that. Okay, here we go. Pink hair. I love the pink hair. I was having some trouble with the eyebrows not really reading. I might need to go back and look at what I've done previously. Ooh, whoa. Let's reduce the frames, up the opacity a little bit. This is great. This is good. Oh, I need to up the sensitivity on this brush. I turned it way down when I was sketching. Okay. Magical Girl Arian is in the way right now, but that's okay. I think I can manage. This is gonna be so freaking cute. I'm so excited. I was collecting audio samples for this animated, literally, like, I, woke up and I just, started, recording and downloading and things. It's like, oh, this would be really funny, So I'm gonna have to, do a lot of, splicing and probably some, background music removal. That is always a killer for me. I'm like, oh, this audio isn't very good, it's tough. Not sure if this is exactly what I want. I might have made the Steven Universe face shape a little too exaggerated. I think it's cute though. Maybe like that, and I softened it a little bit. Maybe smaller, like this. Sharpen this up. Sharpen it up or make it soft? I'll go like this. Okay, that's way thin. Way thin. Okay. That's pretty simple head shape. Very close to the camera. And then we'll zoom way away from the camera, right? Let's take a look. Hang on, there's just this tiny little weird straggler piece. I hate when that happens. Okay. So it's gonna be a little weird at the beginning. Right. Right. I love how floaty it is in the center. I think that's fine. Can't wait to add sparkles. We're nowhere near sparkles, but I'm already thinking about it. So my idea was that this was a side view. I don't know if that will still work. Pink eyes. Pink eyes? I had blue, but monochrome. I want to duplicate this just in case I want to go back. I always struggle with this kind of head shape. I have a hard time keeping it consistent, so maybe I should go for something. What did I start with? This reminds me of something. I can't think of what it is. Probably like some manga or something I haven't read. I've just like seen images of. Okay. Here we go. Only pink. Can I come up with a couple more pinks? I could do red. Red seems extreme. Oh, I also forgot the mustache. Okay, I'll put the mustache in. Okay, here we go. Whoop. Oh my gosh, iOS recently did this update where you can like pinch the corner of your screen and it will like minimize your window, and then you can have like multiple windows up and stuff like that. Cool idea. Problem is that it makes the Procreate color drop like unusable. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense at all. A nose. Now does it make sense? Little tiny nose. It's very squished. Something like this. It would be, oh, I keep doing this. It would be simpler if I just went with the mustache. I don't want to have to draw the beard every time. I'm so lazy. Lazy art streams. No. Delete, I hate it. It looks weird. I like having a non-defined chin. Okay. Steven Universe smile. Right, right. So we're just gonna start with all pink for now. We'll see how it goes. So we should kind of come up into frame at a diagonal angle. Kind of peeking out. We'll clean this up. Well, usually I like to have like a little bit of the color border like poking out from the bottom of the screen. It's just how I like to do things. I don't know. All the colors are kind of floating in their little color void. There's some weirdness happening. Turn down the opacity so I can see what I'm doing. It's like a little color, little blip right here. I'm just gonna select it all and delete it. That's faster sometimes. Well, right now it sure isn't faster. Oh my word, I have to do it like 10 times. Okay. Select, move it away. There we go. Now we can add some blobs. Or just smooth out these hard edges. I like to have... I think I have to decide whether or not I want soft edges or hard angular ones. Right now I'm going soft. Oh man, there's this little blip happening again. Hi Sugar Cube. More animating of content I'm not familiar with. Sailor Moon? You don't know Sailor Moon? You know Game Grumps though, right? I'm sure you've seen a magical girl transformation sequence. Okay. So Aaron pops into frame. Boom. Let's see, I have a couple blank frames just sitting here for no reason. Comes up. Gives a little smile. Hang on, I want to distort this. Redraw a frame, what? Never. Okay. Maybe. I'm just gonna start adding random frames, honestly. Okay, I have to decide. Are we gonna use a new color or are we just gonna keep going with pink? Pink. Only pink. I could do red for the mouth. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything darker than this pink. There's some darker pinks I could choose. I don't like this. I'm going to redraw it. I'm actually going to redraw it. Delete. Where's the smiling frame? Okay. Smiling frame. Okay, let's up the opacity a little. He's very heart-shaped, I'm just realizing. What do people call this art style? I've heard people say Cal Arts art style, like the Steven Universe shaped head, the gumball, the cat shaped head. There's another example. It's not coming to me right now. So usually the mouth would be like here, right? You're not familiar with Game Grumps? Oh. That's funny. That was like my whole steez a while back. What am I doing here? Oh, I was gonna do like someone once described the brush I'm using as like drawing with a tube of frosting or something like that. I was like, that is really descriptive. That is really good. I might use that myself. Yeah, we got the stabilization on to the max. I don't like it. I don't like it. It looks weird. I'm going back, I'm changing everything. Maybe we do need that dark blue after all. I'm gonna hold here for a sec. Saw a couple of best of videos. I used to like NSP music a lot. The only Let's Play channel I enjoy is Oni Plays. Star versus the Forces of Evil. Yes, you're right. I do like Star versus the Forces of Evil. Yikes, that light pink and the white are really close together. We'll see, we'll hold there for a sec. Like Fungus in Monsters Inc. when he gets murdered. Dude, that was like the most niche reference I've ever heard, but luckily I knew exactly what you were talking about. Oh man, that's so funny. I always make the joke, Monsters Inc. is such a classic, dude. I always make the joke of the two janitors in that movie. Um, there's like a classic joke where he's like, "So I said if you talk to me like that again, we're through." And the other one's like, "What did she say?" And you know the implication is that it's like a girlfriend or something. She's like, "You know my mom. He sent me to my room." It's like the best, like most underrated line just in the background. I appreciate a good background line, you know what I mean? Like if you can start a scene and characters are already talking and you manage to make it funny, now that's good. What's happening here? You know, I is in the wrong place. Or is it? Okay, remove it. Wait. Go back. Did I lose it? I lost it. I lost it. I still skipped that scene when I watched Monsters. That janitor joke is so dumb. I always thought it was really funny. I quote it all the time. She sent me to my room. It's good. It's good. Oh man, that was such a classic movie. CGI animation when it was still pretty new. And they went with a lot of models that didn't have like a lot of like hair or anything to worry about. I remember there was a time in Pixar where they were really struggling with hair. I'm just gonna take this. I'm just gonna take this frame. Can I do it? Yes, we can. I mean, they were struggling with hair, and then they did Sully, right? The big blue monster with all the purple spots. I watched like, I think I must have watched like the behind the scenes. I loved watching like behind the scenes of movies like that, where they just talk about like, oh yeah, and these are all the decisions we made. Just imagine the computer that had to render Sully's like fuzzy hair. I remember they were really trying to show off the tech when they made Brave. I was always watching the behind the scenes on movies like that. And in the Brave movie, they were talking about like how each like strand of hair had like an equation to like follow when it was like rendering in physics or something like that, how it would bounce or something like that. I mean, it looked nuts. It looked a little crazy. I always liked Brave. I think it was lacking in story, but I liked the idea. CGI animation studios have a whole warehouse to render called render farms, yeah. Yeah, yes. I always thought about that. I do some computer rendering for work, and I have like a separate, like I once tried to do it on, the computer I was using, and all my programs stopped working and nothing got done. And so now I have like this like remote system that I like only use for exporting renderings. Let's see. I'm getting really turned around on this. Where does the eye go? Not there. Let's remove this. Now I know what I'm looking at. Now I know what I'm looking at. Okay. Merge down. What does that look like? Okay. We'll put the pink hair back on. There's no room for the eyebrows. Okay, we'll squish it down. Squish. I'm so lazy. These animation streams just like reveal how lazily I draw. I'm like, I don't know. It's flip it and distort it and do something like this. I don't know. You did it. Although then I'm gonna have weird jagged edges. I wish there was a way to smooth the like selection tool. Now that would be pod racing. Yeah, okay. The hair is moving a little bit. Let's come through here. I also love doing like hair curl, but I always put them in at the wrong time. I need to get better at that. Maybe this will be the one. Will she know how hair moves through space? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Maybe. I'm actually just gonna kind of redraw it. It should come forward more towards the camera like this. And then we'll worry about animating it. Frame by frame. Frame by frame. Oh, hair is doing something different. Hair is doing something different. Let's put this in front of the face. And smooth out this weird, taking you all upside down. Right here. There we go. I don't like when this happens. It's one of the downsides of this brush, but I just kind of refuse to use any other brush. Never seen another brush, never heard of one. This is what I know. All the way back when I used to draw in Photoshop, I was like, there's a lot of brushes here. I'll just stick with this one. Maybe I'll flatten the eye a little bit. It's not lazy, it's smart working. Thank you. Yeah, that's how we keep making stuff. Yeah, I agree, 100%. If it gets the job done. Work smarter, not harder. You know, what's funny about that is I'm sure there's like a million tips and tricks that I like don't know. Like half the time I forget about like clipping masks, and then I just like am like meticulously adding like quote cell shading. Like not really. I don't think I don't do like full on cell shading. But sometimes I just kind of call it that because I think it gets the gist of what I'm trying to do. Now I feel like his eyes kind of squinting a little bit. I think it's okay because he's cheesing. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Eyebrow, which is the same color as the hair, which is a problem for me, and I knew it would be. We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. I need to decide on colors. Is there a darker? Like, what if I just went crazy here? Oh, yeah, like a magenta. Ooh, I'm bad at picking colors, so I generally don't. I let Pinterest pick the colors for me. I have like so many screenshots on my iPad and on my phone of just like, I don't know, gem tone color palette, go. Same as the mustache. Magenta. It just needs to be, it just needs to show up. Just needs to show up. I think that'll be okay. Maybe I should test it. Does it show up? Oh, it's close. It's close in hue. Darker? That's like, ooh, It's very, maybe I can make it reddish. More red. Tweak it. That's too much. I have this red. I was playing around with like red, but then I felt like it like clashed with other parts of the design I was going with, but I think I'm gonna change things. I can't decide. That's exactly my process. I'm so ignorant of more efficient ways of doing things. Yeah, I have friends who use Procreate, which is the exact same program I'm using currently. Um, yeah, and they have all sorts of tips and tricks, and I've like never even heard of renderings, settings, and I don't even know. I don't even know what to call it. That's why I like hand-drawn frame by frame, because I understand how it works. Oh, you do frame by frame too? I was like, alright, there's a lot of new people here. Here's what we're doing. Sailor Moon, Game Grumps, transformation. Erin's gonna turn into a magical girl. This is my very rough sketch. We're going frame by frame. Yeah, I always thought, I mean, I usually don't skip this, like, sketch stage. Yeah. I usually skip this stage and just kind of, like, you know, I'm like, I know what I'm doing here. Like, I don't really need to plan it, but this is kind of floaty and spinny, and there's camera movement, so I... Maybe light camera movement, I don't know. Maybe you could say so. I guess the camera... The camera might move. We'll see, we'll see. This is where we're at right now. Oh, a new subscriber. I don't know if you're here, but thank you for subscribing. I haven't been able, I was worried my alerts weren't working, but it seems they are. It's very good. I've been changing a lot of things with the stream recently. It's been a lot of ups and downs. We laughed, we cried. I think it's going pretty good now. Okay. Oh, I forgot that's the other thing we don't have room for. Mustache. Maybe I should go look at my... Do I have my examples? Or my references here? Are they all gone? Here they are! Okay. So I've got some, you know, risque Aaron and Dan's over there, but we're gonna focus on this. We're gonna look for a good, nice, darker pink from my reference board. This is what I mean when I was like, I let Pinterest pick my colors for me. There's this red, but there's this red. Oh, there's this darker pink, but that's very saturated. Ooh, what about purple? What if we just steal Sailor Moon's purple here? Okay. I've got some thoughts. We could try a couple of those. Oh, same artboard. Just turn this off. There we go. Purple? Ooh, that's very saturated. That's like a very electric pink. This is like the same pink, yeah. Red. Back to red. Back to red. The red doesn't really show up either. I think I'm gonna stick with this. I might make Aaron's hair lighter. That might be the solution. It's just like tweak this pink a little bit. Just like a little bit. That's like a bubblegum color. That's kind of nice. Bubblegum pink. I like it. It's a little more pastel. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's run with that. Evil laughs to self. No, it's good. It's good. For color palettes, I like to sketch out the scene a couple of times with different colors to see what works well. I start many projects with sketching out the colors all blobby to get the vibe. Ooh, yeah, you're very good at that. You're very, very good at picking colors. I love the colors you end up picking. I need to do that. I said so last stream where I was like, you know, it would be great if I just like had like a little, okay, here's the dark pink, here's the light pink. Oh, I guess this is my lightest pink. I usually don't use like a whole lot of colors when I animate. I usually keep it really simple. Mostly on myself. Keep it simple so it's easier to switch between all of them. I really liked how like I used like 6 colors in my Dragon Ball animation. And I thought that was really like I always say pop arty. Graphical, I don't know. What's the word? it's a big mustache. It's just like, oh, it's in the way. It's in the way. It's in the way of the heart shape. Looks very villainous. This is very exaggerated. Uh-oh. I think we're introducing new colors. You have to be careful. I do have the transparent overlay. Oh, I guess I have to remove this. Maybe I can copy and paste it, though. Select. Copy paste. Sure. Sure. We'll throw it up there with the others. With the others. Oops. I'm also planning on changing a couple of things about Aaron's final form here. I've got this kind of reference doodle here, but I'll probably change some things. The pink is definitely more Steven Universe. Absolutely. We're channeling that sort of thing for sure. A lot of Steven Universe inspiration, honestly. I mean, the face, the mouth, the eyes a little bit. I do like Steven Universe really simple eyes. I always end up drawing this like I don't know. I call them like they're little sixes, right? They I like the eyes of let's see, Steven Universe eyes, like being puppy cat eyes, that sort of thing. You don't need to stick to a rigid color palette. It's just for the vibe. You can adjust the colors as you go. Yeah, I definitely do that. The problem sometimes I have is that like, I change the colors on like one animation and then I have to go back and change the colors on other ones, or sometimes I forget, you know, and I'll be like, this is done, and then I watch it back and I'm like, oh man, my eyes see slightly different color hues, and I just like hope no one else notices. But, you know. Okay. The other thing I really want to add, I love adding cute little rosy cheeks. I mean, yeah, it's part of my PNG tuber. I always add this, but it's a little bit much right now. Do we need this? This is really tough to know what's going on. I'll move on. Okay, back to this. Back to this. I'm gonna draw a new frame here, I think. All these sketches are starting to drive me nuts. Let's reduce the opacity so I can see what I'm doing. And now that I've got some colors picked out, nice mustache. Thank you, thank you. I didn't know Aaron could be this cute. Yeah, I've drawn I've drawn Aaron this way a couple of times. Oh man, I keep drawing the mustache and then it just looks insane with the mouth. I need to fix something. I need to make some decisions here. I've drawn a couple of one of my favorite Game Grumps animateds that I've done was I did an animation of Hey Tofu Boyfriend that they played like forever ago, and I drew Aaron as like a cute anime girl, you know, in the visual novel, just like playing out the scene. One of my favorites. Egoraptor even commented on that video. That was exciting. Oh man, but yeah, I compromised my style for no man. I would say this is drawing magical girls is like in my element. I think I've drawn I almost like never draw men. I always draw cute girls. So this like channel has been like pushing me to try to draw other things. I mean, I just talked about how I drew Dragon Ball previously. Yeah, I don't usually draw like aliens and things like that. But you know, I'm gonna try it. I'm outside my comfort zone. But it's been fun. Aaron as a magical girl, now I can do that. Yeah, okay. I still need to, Okay, eyebrows. Let's draw the hair first, actually. Because I think the hair will probably come up over, or the eyebrows will come up over the hair. Okay. Aaron's one of my favorites to draw. His hairstyle works really well in my style. I love drawing curly Q hair like this. I also just love doing, I like making Aaron and Dan monochrome character designs. I think that's really fun to try. Try to represent them in as few details as possible. I once like drew them as like blobs where I was just like pink blob, that's Aaron, blue blob, that's Dan. And I think it read, I posted it like forever ago. It was one of my first things I started doing where I was like just getting started into animation. And everyone was like, I know that they're just blobs, but I know exactly who this is. I just found this channel. What's it about? Oh, well, I have been kind of on an creative journey in animation. I'm a graphic designer professionally, but I've always wanted to get into animation. I started doing a lot of fan animations to kind of practice and just kind of get my work out there. But I also have ambitions of, you know, original animation projects. I've got an original animated series that I've been working on off and on in between fan projects called Siri and the Wizard. That's my end goal, but you know, in the meantime, I've been having a lot of fun just kind of animating. I like to take audios from Game Grumps and other Let's Plays like Oni Plays and things like that. Put together something fun, something funny, hopefully make some laughs. But all in all, just trying to get better at animation, trying new things. I've been at it for about a year or so, maybe 2 years or so at this point. Trying things out. This is weird. This is weird. I think I decided what's weird. You have to move this. There we go. No, we have to fix this. No, we get to fix it. Suspiciously shaped Aaron and Danny Plobs. Oh yeah, yep, exactly. Oh man, it's fun. It's like that was a really fun like animation exercise. Also kind of like a character design exercise in a way. And I treat like all of these projects kind of like character design exercises where I'm like, okay, let's pick an art style. Well, I mean, you know, let's pick like, you know, whatever the theme is of like the game, or something like that, and trying to kind of funnel it in, translate it through my art style, which is usually pretty simple color blocks and things like that. I usually do lineless. I can do line art. Uh, I usually just choose not to. I like drawing in blobby shapes. Um, I might branch out into line art. I have a couple of animations that I did in line art, but line art animation style, but my original series is a line art animation style, and oh man, no, that's pushing me out of my comfort zone. I like to keep it simple. I also love like full colored animations. Like whenever someone releases like a fully colored animation on YouTube, I always get like so excited, because I just like know how much work that is. So this is my kind of way of doing that. It simplifies the process a little bit for me. Because otherwise, oh man, I would be spending all day like agonizing over line art. Okay, we're filling it. We're filling this in. There we go. This is looking better. Much better, much better. I remember drawing Dan and having most trouble with his hair. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've got a solution for that. Here, I'll show my concept art for Magical Girl Dan. There he is. I'm actually really excited about this. I think this is gonna be so cute. I love Magical Girl Dan. I think I need to add like ribbons or something. He's got like a moon scepter, of course. I'm really excited to come back to Dan. But dang it, I've got to finish Aaron. Let's see how this goes. The cow. Sailor Moon power makeup. Am I right? Am I right? Anyone? Okay, we need some eyebrows. We forgot Aaron's iconic eyebrows. There's a little bit of wobbliness happening here. I think I can sort it out. There we go. Hello, Oopsie Daisy. I mean, Alexa Daisy. You know what's funny about that? You actually kind of hit the nail right on the head. That's one of the many inspos for my name. I've had people say that my name also sounds like Lackadaisy, which was, you know, that indie animation project that came out a little while ago. Which is funny, because I had to look this up. The word Lackadaisy, which was not part of my original inspiration, but they just sound very similar. The word Lackadaisy means like kind of sluggish and not very excitable, not very high energy. I try to not be that way. Okay, let's start removing some of these frames that we don't need anymore. Floats in. Kind of turns. Do I like this frame? Do I need to get rid of this frame? I like this frame. I don't know if I like this frame. Well, actually, I think we need to have like some talking here, so maybe this is okay. And then And then we go back to this frame. I'm gonna redraw it. I'm gonna redraw it. It'll be fine. It'll be a little wobbly. Thank you, a new subscriber. Thank you, thank you. If you're here, I appreciate you. Well, now I want to see some line art. Oh wait, that's Zirian. Yes, yeah, Zirian the Wizard is line art. I love that like line art, like 2-frame animation where it like wobbles a little bit. That like was magical for me the first time I did that. I downloaded like Flip-a-Clip or whatever like immediately when I very first got my iPad, which was relatively recent, just a couple years ago. I immediately downloaded Flip-a-Clip because I didn't know that you could animate really in Procreate. I didn't have Procreate yet. I didn't know how to use it, whatever. And I immediately just started like drawing the same picture on top of itself and being like, wow, it's moving. It's 1-2 animation. Wow, it's moving. There's something so magical about animation. I love it. I always talk about, like, one of my favorite things about animating kind of goes back to the meaning of the word animation. You know, where like back in the day, to animate or to reanimate something meant to like take a dead thing and to bring it to life, or maybe even bring it back to life, or you know, something like that. Like a necromancer, you know? You're making that dead thing get up and walk around and move. I love that. I like felt that like so deeply in my bones too, my first animation when I drew one of my original characters and, you know, made it like blink at me or made it like walk around, like took my breath away. And love. I love it. I love animating. And like show someone, it'd be like, yep, it's an animation, that's very cool. And I'd be like, no, but it's alive, do you get it? Do you get it? I keep doing this thing with the mouth. Thank you for subscribing. Let's see. I've got this, I keep moving this around. Oh, I don't have enough onions. Why is it called onion frames? Lack a daisy, but you are not, in fact, lacking a daisy. That's true. That's true. I'm right here. This implies Bugs Bunny is technically a zombie. Yeah, maybe it's a little macabre. Maybe it's a little dark. Yeah, think like Frankenstein. Need some... Okay, we need to reduce the opacity or just reduce the onions. Reduce the onions. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, eye, mouth. Great. Combine them together. Maybe I should try something really quick. Clipping mask? I remember that you exist. Like this. I wanted to add teeth. I haven't decided how I'm gonna do it yet. I don't know if I even like that. I don't even know. Merge down. No, I don't like it. I'll think about it later. Problem for later. Delete. Can't be expected to make all these snap decisions. I already picked colors today. I think onion frames are called that because they're like the skin layer of an onion and you can see through them. You're probably right. I like had like vague inclinings that might be the reason, but I don't know, I just think of that line from Shrek, you know, onions have layers. Yeah, it occurred to me, I'll admit it occurred to me. Onions do have layers. I didn't think about like the transparency thing though. That's a good thought. Onions do have layers. Just makes me think of biting a raw onion. It made me think of that too. I was like, surely that can't be what everyone's talking about. So we called it the onion setting. Like, I would, like, whenever I tried to, like, describe the concept of, like, layers, to someone who's, like, not really familiar with, like, a digital art program or something like that, I always use, like, window panes or, like, layers of glass to, like, describe it. I had a friend who was really really into traditional art and like had never even broken out into digital art. And she was like, "Oh, what do you use layers for?" Like, you know, like that was a kind of a foreign concept for a while if you haven't done it before. And I was like, "Oh yeah, think of it like a plane of glass that you can add a layer of paint to, and then you can add another plane of glass on top of it." Hang on, this is not working. I need to have this. It's probably just going to get cut off of the frame, which means we get to add a little blobby line. That's okay. That means it's been cut off. But yeah, so like a plane of glass, you add one layer of paint, and then you could even move around that plane of glass if you want to, or like change it, and it won't affect the other plane of glass. And they also use, like, you know, paintings on, like, planes of glass and, like, you know, old animation projects and things like that. 2D animations for, like, parallax effects and things, you know? The vinyl sheets they used for cells were see-through. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why don't they call it the cell setting? Cells, that makes more sense. Oh man, I think animation cells are so cool. Sometimes when I'm like bored and I'm just like, you know, like surfing the web, I look at like there's like animation companies sometimes like put their animation cells like up for sale. Really weird thing. I am like I have my eye on a SpongeBob animation cell. I want one so bad. There's some really good ones. Like imagine being the person that has the handsome Squidward animation cell. You're a king. I want to be the king. Someone would come over to my house for dinner and they'd see the SpongeBob animation cell on my wall and it'd be like, "Oh yes, my fine art, I see you've noticed." My classical SpongeBob animation frame. Some of them get pretty pricey. But I had my eye on like a scene from the Hooks episode. I was like, I really wanted it. They go up on like auction houses all the time. You know how people like to just kind of online shop? I just go on auction houses and I'm like, whoa. The buff SpongeBob from episode whatever catching a jellyfish. I want it. There's so many good ones. I love SpongeBob. I really want to get an original SpongeBob cell, but they're so expensive. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm glad that wasn't just like a crazy thing to say. Yeah, they are expensive. Like, you could get one of the ones of like SpongeBob blinking or something, or mid like talking, but those ones aren't as cute, right? It's always the high value ones that are like just like from the best episodes. Like Davy Jones is in it or something. Dude, I want one so bad. It'd be so cool to animate traditionally on cells if I had the time and budget to do that. Oh yeah, it's a lot of paper too. I have like one of those animation boards with like the 3 prongs at the top that you like can like shine a light under. I have it somewhere. But I think like you'd have to get like a bunch of I mean you could just, I don't know, use regular paper, but I know that you can get like paper for it that like sits into the 3-pronged thing. I don't know what it's called. An animation bar. Is that what they're called? That looks odd. What if we went like this? I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit. Smooth this out a little bit. Wait, are the color blocks here? They are. This is happening. It's moving around. Okay, let's throw that off the artboard. Up and smile. And then I think he's gonna go back to... Is this eye closed pose next? I think so. I can delete this frame. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna very closely replicate this frame, but it is gonna be slightly different. That should be fast. Here we go. Needs to kind of slightly turn away and close eyes dramatically. Let's draw the hair. Let's turn down the opacity. Let's get a couple frames just to... You know what else is driving me crazy? This top layer. I don't want to look at it right now. Okay. This looks way better in my mind palace. I just referenced freaking BBC Sherlock of all things. What's wrong with me? Y'all remember that? That was a time. Oh man. Fun fact, the lead animator behind Evangelion, you know what I mean. When he was making his first short film, he went to a warehouse and brought clear plastic sheet in large rolls because the cells were too expensive. Yeah. Yeah, is that what they do? They get like rolls of the plastic shell? Yeah. Yeah, studios, I'm sure they've got lots of those, but it'd be tough to get a hold of personally. That's cool. Imagine having to cut out all of those like sheets though from a big roll. The material kept sticking together because it wasn't meant for layering and painting, so you could see so many splotches on the film. Ooh. That is interesting. I love like details like that. I'm gonna this is gonna be the weirdest like comparison to make, but SpongeBob. SpongeBob has you know, like the original season. If you go back and watch that, you can see like the shadows of the cells on the painted backgrounds. I love that. I love that. I love evidence that, you know, something's real and people are, you know, doing like a traditional craft. I love it. That's one of the reasons I like I do a lot of or at least I used to do a lot of traditional art too. I really like doing printmaking and things like that. One of the things I really love about printmaking is when you carve out a block, right? And then you take your ink and you like ink it up, and then when you press it to the paper, there's a chance that, you know, little bits of residue or like wherever you were putting pressure on like the carving might kind of come through on the block or on the print. And that makes every print a little different. I love that. I love when textures or, I don't know, little like gritty elements like that from like the process just kind of show through. Maybe that's a more eloquent way to say it. I'm not very eloquent on stream. I watch these back and I'm like, man, I could barely put a sentence together. Oh man. I love SpongeBob so much. Okay, good. Y'all are my people. Okay, good. I'm like, I'm gonna make a crazy comparison. Y'all seen SpongeBob? I love SpongeBob. Close eyes. Close eyes dramatically. Right? That's what we're at? I think so. We'll add some in-between frames later. Angry eyebrows rest to only... Okay. Maybe it needs to be like this. Yeah, okay, I like that better. I love giant eyebrows. Very expressive. One of the most expressive things we've got. The digital art equivalent of that is when you can tell is just hang on, let me rephrase. I just talked about how I like can barely even talk. Digital art equivalent is when you can tell that the texture of something is just a photo of something random. Oh yeah. Or when you look at video game textures, you're like, hey, they took a picture of a rock. Yeah, well, there's a couple of ways you could do something like that digitally. Something I like to do, at least when I'm doing like, I don't know, digital art for like, I don't know, like a sticker or like something that I don't usually do this like in my animation because it'd be a lot of work, but I like leaving like little like bits of texture like this that just kind of like imply that, you know, there was like a brush stroke there or something like that. Little gritty pieces, a little bit of residue from erasing and drawing, and I mean I know a lot of people work really hard to like remove all those pieces, but you know, I guess it's just a preference thing. I drew like a line here for closed mouth, but I kind of like it no, no line. Like so it's like kind of implied that the mustache the mouth is under the mustache. I kind of like that. Okay, so that was good. Do we need to do like a let's duplicate hold here. I'm gonna turn off a couple of these layers. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. Okay. We haven't gotten very far. There's still a lot to go. I love when it's not super clean. Yeah, me too. I would say that if I had to pinpoint something, I would say that would probably be like the digital art equivalent when I could just see that, you know, someone worked on it. It's not like pristine, picture perfect. I mean, that's definitely the definition of my work. Everything's all wobbly. Wobbly, you know, like this right here, like that's not a perfect like endpoint. Well, I just fixed it, but you know what I mean. Oh wait, we lost the little doodad on the top of the head. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay. Aaron, pre-magical girl transformation. I'm so excited for this part. I just want to get there. Oh man. Sometimes I just want to animate the best part. I don't even want to do all this boring stuff. Okay, we can do maybe a couple more frames. Let's do head down pose. Head down solemnly. I'm about to do a magical girl transformation. Maybe like this. I'm channeling every artist that worked on Steven Universe, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Amazing World of Gumball. Help me shape this head. I love when artists take shortcuts. It feels more like a real human. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. You draw Grump and not so Grump. They're magical Grumps! You're totally right. Yeah, what do they call, do you remember what anime Aaron and Dan are called? I think it's Arena, Daniela, I have references. I pulled in some references. I guess I didn't really end up using the references in the design, but I was like, this is what we're going for. One gets merch, the other gets Let's Plays. Oh man, there was a really, really cute merch drop that they did forever ago, and I'm like kicking myself for not getting it. I really liked it. It was very like pastel and like Sailor Moon color themed, and it just featured the anime girl Aaron and Dan. They were so cute. There was one with like where they're at like the arcade. It's super adorable. Oh man, they've come up with some really cute merch recently. Really love it. Okay, my alarm just went off. My alarm just went off. That means it's that time of the day again. It's time for me to head off to work. Gotta go clock in. Gotta go make money. I had a really fun time hanging out with y'all and drawing. I will be back tomorrow, probably working on the same animation. I might switch it up a little bit, work on a different scene, but you know, I'm gonna be working on this for a while, I think. So if you like this sort of thing, I hope to catch you tomorrow. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and thanks so much for watching.